We have rain out there for you this morning. It's going to be just very early for us. We do have a weather alert day while that rain and the thunderstorms are in place. I'll show you how quickly that moves on out.
And with that rain coming down, we have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roads this morning. It is wet out there right now on I-40 in Raleigh. You can see the windshield wipers going. What you need to know before you head out.
Synthetic hemp ban today, the next step in the push to make products, certain THC drinks and gummies, all illegal. We welcome you inside our WRAL studio here on a wet start to our Tuesday morning here at 4:30, a weather alert day again. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Driving into work today, also had some rain coming down in Raleigh. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking those showers that are moving as we take a look at this lightning here. Overnight storms putting on a light show. This is what it looked like around 2:45 this morning. This is from the camera outside the legislative building in Raleigh. And we'll show you what it looked like in Garner as well when the storm was right overhead.
What a light show is happening out there. And I just saw it a few minutes ago, so we know it hasn't stopped. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center where it is right now.
Yeah, here's a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. We're seeing some rain in the southern part of Wake County, across Johnson County, moving on over to Wilson County. That's where most of the lightning is at this point and some of the heavier rain that we're seeing. You can see Frequay, Varina, Andrew, a lot of lightning there, Clayton, Smithfield, and then over toward Wilson too, especially southern Wilson County. Good bit of lightning showing up there. This is going to move out by the time we get to, say, 6 or 7. Notice how that chance of rain really diminishes. Once this moves on out, it's not likely that we're going to have as much rain as we did yesterday. So a slight chance of some thunderstorms again later on this afternoon. And of course, the thunderstorms are, a big deal, but we also are going to really start to watch the heat coming up. This is a look at Apex where we have rain coming down right now, 75 degrees with a dew point of 71. And with that dew point way up in the 70s, it's really going to affect how things feel outside. We're going to climb up into the low 90s for this afternoon, but it'll feel more like upper 90s. For today, it's a moderate risk of heat danger, but by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday, it's major. And then again on Saturday. Not just that, but Thursday, we'll also have a weather alert day for a level 2 risk for severe storms. We'll go over all this in much more detail coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. We have the WRAL storm tracker on the road as showers and storms are moving through. Kelsey Coffey out on I-40 right now in Raleigh. Kelsey, these storms are giving people across the triangle an early wake-up call. Yes, Renee, they sure are. We'll go ahead and give you a live look now at your morning commute on 40 here in Raleigh. So you can just see that rain coming down. Even as I was leaving my home in Cary this morning, there was a lot of rain there. We heard Elizabeth mention the rain coming down in Apex. So we'll give you a look now at the radar. We're actually on our way to Apex now. So you all can see some of the rain that's happening there. But I checked in with our meteorologist team, and they say that Johnston County specifically has seen 3 to 6 inches of rain in the last few days. Wilson County has also gotten a lot of rain. They saw reports of 4 to 7 inches of rain. So that's about a month's worth of rain in just a few days here. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on what's happening here on your morning commute in a WRAL storm tracker. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
It has been a lot. We have breaking news right now. Crews are working to repair an outage that knocked power out for thousands of customers in Raleigh this morning. Ali Kadlubar is in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Ali, those crews are making progress, though, getting the lights back on.
Yes, and just in the past 10 minutes, we actually saw Duke Energy crews head that way. And as you mentioned, just about an hour ago, this stretch here, it was about a 3-mile stretch on Durley Road. It was pitch black, and over the past 30 minutes, we've seen the lights start to come on. Now, take a look at this video from our WRAL breaking news tracker. This is what most of the area looked like on Durley Road. It had dark stoplights, streets, no power at all. And Duke Energy crews arrived shortly after we showed up. We watched them search up and down the 3-mile stretch of residential area for about an hour or so. Now, they made at least 5 stops to just search all of the power lines. They eventually told us here that they believe that the cause of the outage was a power line or was fallen or downed limbs or branches. And as you can see, they're coming on back because right now about 380 customers are still without power right here. But as you guys mentioned, it was about 2,000 just hours ago. And so we can see they're still trying to find the calls of one phase, what they call it, of power that is still out. And we're going to keep you guys updated throughout the morning.
Ali Calabar live for us this morning in Raleigh. Thank you. More breaking news this morning. Police in Durham responded to a reported shooting on Fayetteville Street. This happened just after midnight. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there while officers investigated, and we are working to learn more about what happened.
Today, a bill that would ban synthetic hemp products in the state is up for discussion in the legislative building where you're looking live right now. The State Senate Health Committee will vote on House Bill 328. It would prohibit anyone under the age of 21 from buying or possessing any hemp-derived consumable products. It also bans hemp-derived products from school grounds. The proposal could set up a fight with the House, which passed a more limited measure earlier in the session.
Covering Wake County today, the man accused of shooting at police officers during a chase in Rollsville is due in court. Gabriel Walker is facing charges including attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon on an officer, and firing into an occupied property. Video shows the moment police say Walker pulled up behind a pickup truck. You see him pull in right there and then fire his gun 3 times. Officers returned fire. It all started as a trespassing call, but quickly escalated when officers say Walker did not comply with their demands.
I saw a bunch of cops driving all around, and next thing you know, you hear 3 gunshots. And maybe a minute or so goes by, and 3 more gunshots.
WRAL also obtained video showing the moment officers put Walker in handcuffs. 2 police cruisers were damaged during the shootout. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Tensions continue to escalate as Israel and Iran continue launching airstrikes against each other. The conflict is entering its 5th day. More than 220 people have been killed in Iran so far, while 24 people have been killed in Israel, with hundreds more injured. An Iranian government TV employee was killed in a recent strike as well. President Donald Trump left the G7 summit in Calgary, Canada yesterday, 1 day early. He directed his National Security Council to be ready in the Situation Room when he returned to the White House. On Truth Social, the president urged Tehran's estimated 10 million residents to immediately evacuate, but did not provide any details as to why.
The man suspected of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses is behind bars this morning after making his first court appearance yesterday. Vance Belter will remain in custody until his next court hearing, June 27th, on multiple federal charges. At the state level, he's facing several murder and attempted murder charges. Belter is accused of killing Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, who is a Raleigh native. He is also accused of wounding State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. The shootings over the weekend prompted a 43-hour-long manhunt.
Plans to redevelop the Durham's old police headquarters are now on hold. City Council voted last night to stop negotiations with developers of the old headquarters site. The People's Corporation has been handling that proposed development project. The cost has increased nearly $100 million from last summer to this spring. So City Council decided to pause the project. Leaders plan to come up with interim programming to keep the building intake until redevelopment conditions improve.
A final vote is expected today on a bill that would block new rules proposed by state agencies overseen by Governor Josh Stein. GOP lawmakers say the so-called RAINS Act would create more accountability by giving power to the legislature. They also say fewer regulations should help lower costs for businesses. Critics fear environmental protections, public health, and public safety could be at risk. Governor Stein would almost certainly veto this bill, and Republicans would only need 1 Democrat in the House to override that.
Electric car fees, how much some lawmakers want to charge drivers, and why critics say this is a dangerous proposal.
And hospitals at risk, what new data shows about the challenges rural communities are facing and how many facilities could close.
It's a WRAL weather alert day this morning as we give you a live look at Goldsboro. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking the storms moving east and looking ahead to the hottest days of the year so far that are on the way.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:43, waking up to some showers and thunderstorms, especially around the triangle from Raleigh southward down around Johnston County, especially Wilson County. Still a little bit of that in Chatham County as well. We do have a flood advisory that's in effect right now for most of this area until about 7:15. This is going to be for minor flooding. We're not looking at anything that's going to cause any major problems, but low-lying areas especially could be dealing with some flooding as we're seeing this rain rolling through this morning. We take a look at our hour-by-hour rain chances. Today is a WRAL weather alert day, at least this morning. While we're still having rain in the area, it does taper off as we get through the morning commute. And then later this afternoon, we'll have a chance of some scattered storms popping up. It's also going to be a hot day. It's warm and sticky out there for us this morning with our temperatures currently in the 70s. We'll climb into the low 90s, feeling like upper 90s this afternoon.
A man wanted for murder in Granville County is now in custody. The sheriff's office says Michael Wright surrendered. He's facing 2 murder charges. He's accused of killing 63-year-old Teresa Davis and her 26-year-old son, Joseph Jeffries Jr. in Henderson. This happened Sunday night. And WRAL is being held, or Wright, I should say, is being held without bond in the Granville County Jail.
North Carolina will get nearly $150 million in the Purdue Pharma settlement. All 50 states and Washington, D.C. signed on to a $7.5 billion settlement with the company and its owners, the Sackler family. This ends the litigation against the company and the family for their role in the nationwide opioid crisis. The money will be paid over 15 years.
A federal judge ruled it was illegal for the Trump administration to cancel several hundred NIH research grants. The judge called it the worst government racial discrimination he has seen in 4 decades on the bench. And U.S. District Judge William Young said the administration's process was arbitrary and capricious. Young also said the administration didn't follow long-held government rules and standards when it abruptly canceled grants focusing on gender identity or diversity, equity, and inclusion. Duke and UNC received millions in grant money from NIH, and Duke's medical school ranked 7th nationally among academic medical centers receiving funding from the National Institutes of Health. The judge's action is an interim step. The Trump administration will almost certainly appeal the ruling once it is formally issued.
More than 300 hospitals in rural areas across the country could be at risk of closing under proposed federal health care cuts. That includes 5 hospitals in North Carolina. That's according to new data from the UNC Shepp Center. It was included in a letter from Senate Democrats to Republicans regarding the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Research found 46 states were at risk of losing at least one rural hospital.
Drivers who went electric to save money could soon pay more. Lawmakers in Washington are considering a new federal fee on hybrid and electric vehicles. It could cost drivers up to $500 a year. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin has that story.
North Carolina's electric vehicle registrations have climbed sharply in recent years, from just 10,000 in 2018 to more than 110,000 today. And about 70% of those are right here in Wake County. While many drivers choose cleaner cars to save at the pump, a steep new fee moving through Congress could wipe out those savings. The House-passed budget bill would impose a $100 yearly fee on hybrids and $250 fee on EVs. Now, some Republican senators want to double those amounts. They argue EV drivers should help cover road costs, as revenue from the federal gas tax, which hasn't increased since 1993, by the way, continues to shrink. A Consumer Reports analysis shows the average full-size driver pays between $70 and $100 each year in federal gas taxes.
These taxes, at some of the higher levels, $250 on a hybrid owner before they even drive their first mile, and $500 for an EV owner, is way out of step with what Americans are currently paying for gas tax.
Some are pushing for a per mile charge, so seniors who drive less and hybrid drivers who still pay those gas taxes aren't penalized. In North Carolina, the transportation sector is the largest contributor of greenhouse gases, accounting for 36% of the state's total emissions. Critics warn the proposed fee could drag down EV adoption and stall efforts to cut emissions. North Carolina already charges $180 a year for EVs and $90 for hybrids. A federal fee would stack on top of those state levies. And since cars aren't federally registered, it would be the first time Washington bills Americans for owning a vehicle they already purchased.
Liz McLaughlin reporting there. And the same bill would phase out the federal EV tax credit worth up to $7,500 for qualified buyers after next year. That would make clean cars even more expensive.
It is a wet start to our Tuesday morning as we track showers and storms moving across the viewing area. Elizabeth, how much longer will this rain be with us?
A couple more hours we'll be dealing with this, and you can see it's right here in the southern part of Wake County, Johnston County, Wilson County in particular. Still a little bit of patchy rain back here in Chatham County as well. We have the storm tracker out on the roads this morning, and Kelsey Coffey is down here on the southern end of 540, where the rain is coming down pretty heavily. There's also a good bit of lightning out there. Fortunately, this is not something that's likely to be with us through the bulk of the morning commute, and we really start to see the roads getting busy in that 7 and 8 o'clock hour, and by that point most of the rain should be over. But if you're headed out right now, you want to be especially careful here. You see the green shaded area. This is where we have a flood advisory, which expires at 7:15, and we should be seeing the end of the rain even before that. Flood advisory means that there is a chance that we could see some minor flooding in places that tend to flood fairly easily. Here's Futurecast, and you can see those showers dissipating pretty rapidly between 6 and 7 o'clock, and then some cloud cover. Once we get into the afternoon, those skies clear and it turns hot, hot, hot. And then we'll have a few isolated storms bubbling up. It's a fairly small chance. We've got a 40% chance down, but you can see very few people will actually end up seeing any showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday looks pretty dry. Thursday, we'll have a strong front that comes through. Thursday's already a WRAL weather alert day because we have a level 2 risk for storms. That level 2 risk covers almost the entire viewing area. That means scattered storms could produce some wind damage and possibly some hail. And Apex is really wet this morning as we've had a shower roll through. It's also warm, 75 degrees. Our dew point's way up at 71, so it's a very heavy air mass for us. Our temperatures across the area are in the low to mid 70s, 72 in Apex and Holly Springs, 73 in Cary, and 72 in Knightdale. Around town, it's a hot one again, 93 in Raleigh, 94 in Fayetteville, 92 in Durham. And we continue with that look at the potential for dangerous heat. It could feel like 102 this afternoon and then 104 Wednesday and Thursday. Typically around 105 to 106 is when the Weather Service will put us under a heat advisory. We have not seen one of those yet this year, but that is possible, especially as we get into next week. Look at this. We hit 97 on Sunday and 99 on Monday. We're going to be close to our first 100-degree day of the year early next week.
Yep, heating up. It is summertime and it is on. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Certainly.
Back on the case, the first full trailer is here for the new reboot of The Naked Gun. What to expect from the new stars in this Hollywood Minute coming up.
Preventing foodborne illness. In our next hour, 5 on Your Side shares how you can take charge of food safety at home and keep your family healthy.
.54 the time right now. Just take a look at the raindrops on the camera there, downtown Cary Park. Everything pretty much in our viewing area, just a little bit wet this morning, and it is just muggy and rainy out there once again. Detective Frank Drebin Jr. is on the case for the Naked Gun reboot, and Sabrina Carpenter is on top of the charts once again. Douglas Hyde has today's Hollywood Minute.
Over here, Lieutenant. I think someone murdered my brother.
Please, take a chair.
Thank you.
Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson bring the laughs in the first full trailer for The Naked Gun. The reboot of the 1988 comedy classic arrives in theaters in August and stars Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., the son of the bumbling cop famously played by Leslie Nielsen in the original. Sabrina Carpenter just scored her second #1 hit with Man-Child. The new tune debuts at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart and is off her upcoming album Man's Best Friend. Mariah Carey also earned her landmark 50th hit on the chart with her new single, Type Dangerous. Glenn Close is joining the cast of The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. She'll play Drusilla Sickle, the cruel escort to the District 12 tributes. Billy Porter has also signed on as her estranged husband, Magno Stift. The film takes place more than 2 decades before the original Hunger Games and will hit theaters November of next year. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Cary Animal Services helped an owl in need. Someone reported this stunned barred owl to officers. They say the bird likely bounced off a passing car. The stunned owl was taken to Holly's Nest Animal Rescue in Sanford, which will care for the bird as it recovers. Cary Animal Services wants to remind drivers to be aware, be patient, so accidents don't happen.
Oklahoma City is one win away from an NBA championship. The Thunder took Game 5 of the NBA Finals last night over the Indiana Pacers. So now the Thunder have a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7 series, and they could clinch the championship in Game 6 Thursday night in Indiana.
4:56, light outage. Crews are working to restore power after it was knocked out for thousands in Raleigh this morning. What we're learning about the cause and the effort to fix it.
Synthetic hemp ban, the showdown that's brewing in the state legislature as lawmakers prepare to vote on the bill today.
And it's a WRAL Weather Alert Day as we give you a live look on US 1 south in Apex. You can see the interstate is wet there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner back after the break with the timeline for storms moving through and a look ahead to temperatures nearing 100 degrees in the near future.